How to get more sales from the same Google Shopping ad budget. You have been running Google Shopping ads for a few months, your numbers stay the same, but you are not ready to spend more money yet. You know you can still get more sales from what you're already spending. Before you spend more, you want to stop wasting clicks, get more buyers, pay less for each click, and pay less for each sale. You want your money to work harder for you. If that's the case, in this video, I'll show you how to check if your Google Shopping campaign is working properly, where money usually gets wasted, and how to make your budgets go further without spending more. Hi, I'm Clarice Lin, the ROI Doctor. I help Shopify store owners like you double their revenue with profitable Google ads. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Want to check if your Google ads bring the right shoppers to your store? I have a free tool for you, the Google Ads Pulse Check. It's a 9-point checklist that shows if your ads attract buyers. If they don't, you need to fix your campaigns and all your landing pages to get more sales. Head over to claricelin.com to download it. There's also a link in the description and pinned in the comments. Without further ado, let's dive into the topic for today. Before you can stretch your Google Shopping budget, you need to know which parts are working and which parts look like they work. Some parts bring real customers, other parts only bring clicks. Those clicks feel active, but they never turn into sales, and that's where most waste hides. So the first step is simple. We check if the campaign works properly. To do that, we look at your recent campaign results. This shows you what normal performance looks like. Then we compare every location, every ad group, and every product to that same standard. Anything that performs better than normal helps stretch your budget. Anything that performs worse holds your budget back, and that's what we fix or remove. That is the clearest way to find hidden ways and move your money to areas that already convert. This is how you stretch your budget without spending more. To check your shopping campaign properly, you need to know what normal looks like for you. This baseline shows you what's typical so you can spot parts that brings clicks but no sales. Here is how you find it. Step 1, you head over to Google Ads account, you open the Campaigns tab, and then you pick your shopping campaign. Make sure you're looking at the whole campaign and not just one ad group. And then the next step, choose your date range. Pick the last 30 days or last full month. This gives you enough data to see real patterns. And next, write down these 4 numbers: your average click-through rate, your average cost per click, your average cost per conversion, and your average return on ad spend. These 4 numbers are your baseline, your standard for what normal looks like. Before you set your baseline, do one more quick check. Look at how your campaign did over the last 3 months, not just the last 30 days. The easiest way is to change your date range. First look at the last 30 days, then look at the month before that, and then 2 months before. Each time, check the same 4 numbers: your click-through rate, your cost per click, cost per conversion, and return on ad spend. If the numbers stay about the same across those 3 months, then your campaign is stable and you can trust your baseline. This gives you a 3-month view, help you spot anything unusual, and makes your baseline more reliable, which means your later decisions will be clearer and more accurate. If the numbers move a little, that's normal, but if 1 month looks very different, much better or much worse, something changed like competition, pricing, feed updates, or seasonality. In that case, use the most recent month as your true baseline because it shows how your campaign is working right now. Once you set your baseline, you can use it to check every part of your campaign. Remember this: anything that performs better than normal helps stretch your budget. Anything that performs worse is where waste hides, and that's where we're going to remove or improve those parts. This keeps your decisions clear, objective, and focused on stretching your budget without spending more. Now that we have your baseline numbers, let's look at the location reports for your Google Shopping campaign. If you're targeting one country, don't treat the whole country the same. Break it down into smaller regions so you can see where the good customers are located. For the United States, you can break it down by state. For Canada and Australia, you can break it down by province. For the UK, you can break it down by counties or regions. For any country, smaller regions help you see the real pattern. Once you zoom in, look for one simple thing. Which areas bring lots of clicks but no sales? Those places quietly drain your budget. If a region keeps getting clicks but never converts, it's not a strong market for your products right now. These are areas you should seriously consider removing or excluding so your money stops leaking there. After finding those, go deeper using your baseline numbers for comparison. Use the same dates range as your baseline and check the same numbers: click-through rate, cost per click, cost per conversion, and return on ad spend. Now, compare every area to your baseline. If you see a higher cost per conversion than normal, it's a weak region. Even if you get some sales, it might cost too much. If you see better cost per conversion or return on ad spend than normal, it's a strong region. These areas bring reliable customers, you can keep them and let more budget flow there. You can even run a search campaign to target those areas. If you see a high cost per click, that area might be more competitive or have less demand. If there are few to zero conversions, this could be an area to exclude. When you remove weak regions and let strong regions get more ad spend, your budget stretches automatically. You're not spending more. You're moving money to places where people are already buying or where there is higher demand, so your cost per acquisition drops. After checking your locations, the next thing to look at is your products. If you're running a shopping campaign with one ad group, this is where you start. Everything happens at the product level, so this is where you will see which items bring sales and which one only brings clicks. Open your products view and check the same dates range as your baseline. Here's what you should be looking out for. Products that spend money, getting the clicks, but bring no sales. These are your biggest budget leaks. If a product spends money but has zero conversions, that shows shoppers click, but something stops them from buying. If your landing page is strong, meaning clear photos, clean layout, social proof, fast load time, then it's usually the product itself or the offer that's not compelling through ads. In that case, you can choose to pause those products first. This is the fastest way to stretch your budget further. And just to be clear, pausing those products in your ads doesn't mean you can't sell those products. It just means they are not profitable for paid search right now. You can still sell those products through email, organic traffic, returning customers, or in bundles. Ads is just one channel which you can sell those products, but it's not the only channel. Products with a cost per conversion far above your baseline. These products might generate sales, but they do it at an inefficient cost. They often need better images, better titles, or better feed attributes. If the numbers stay high after improving images, titles, and product attributes, you might want to consider excluding them. Products with low click-through rates compared to your baseline. Those low click-through rates usually means your product images or titles are not compelling enough. Shoppers see the item but don't find it interesting enough to click. Mark those products and improve their images first, together with optimizing their titles and attributes. Next, products with normal click-through rates but poor conversions. When shoppers click but don't buy, the issue is deeper. This often comes down to perhaps pricing, competition, delivery timelines, or poor trust signals on the product page. Products that consistently beat your baseline. These are your strongest items. They get clicks, they convert efficiently, and they deliver good return on ad spend. Keep them running and let more budget naturally flow towards them. The product view shows you exactly where the campaign wins and loses. The goal here is very simple. Keep the products that sell, fix the ones that have potential, and pause the ones that waste money, and improve images, titles, product attributes, and landing pages where needed. Once you fix the weak products, your entire campaign becomes more efficient, and your Google Shopping budget stretches much further without increasing spend. Now, if your shopping campaign has more than one ad group, this is where you look at how your spend is distributed across them. Start with a simple check: which ad groups are actually spending money? If an ad group barely spends, skip it because there is not enough data. For ad groups that are spending, compare them against your baseline. Look at click-through rates, cost per click, cost per conversion, return on ad spend. And here is the important part. If an ad group spends but does not convert, go straight to the products inside it and pause the ones causing the waste. Most of the time, a few products inside that ad group are taking the majority of the clicks without producing any sales. Pausing those products tighten the whole ad group instantly. Only after fixing the products do you decide whether the ad group itself should still stay active. If the cost per conversion is worse than your baseline, the ad group isn't efficient. Sometimes the issue isn't the product itself, it's the way the products are grouped. Refining your campaign structure means organizing your products so your best items get more of the budget and the weaker products get less of the budget. That can mean splitting out best sellers, grouping similar products, or moving poor performing products into their own ad group so they don't pull the entire performance down. If return on ad spend is better than your baseline, keep the ad group. It's adding profit. If the ad group has very low click-through rate, products in the ad group are not very appealing, or they are not targeting the right people. I've explained earlier how low click-through rate signals weak appeal. Here, you simply use that same signal to spot weak products inside the ad group. If your ad group has normal click-through rate but poor conversions, people are clicking but they don't buy. This could point to pricing issue, competition, or landing page issue. Your goal here is simple. Clean up the bad products within each ad group, then judge the whole ad group as a whole. Once you remove the items that waste money, the entire campaign becomes more efficient and your shopping budget stretches further without increasing spend. And if you're using Performance Max, you treat your asset groups the same way. Look at which ones are spending, which ones convert, and which ones only bring clicks but no sale. Once you've cleaned up your locations, products, and ad groups, the next place to tighten your campaign is reviewing your search term report. Shopping campaigns don't use keywords. Google matches your products to searches using your product feed. So sometimes Google shows your products for broad or loosely related terms. Your job is to spot when Google is matching your product to the wrong search terms. Here are a few examples of what to exclude. When you're reviewing your search terms, the goal is simple. Make sure Google is showing your ads to the right shoppers. You start by removing any terms that are too far away from what you are actually selling. For example, if you are selling a 14K gold over engagement ring and Google shows your ad for toe rings or earrings, that traffic might get clicks, but it will never turn into sales, so those such terms need to go. Next, look for broad or vague terms like best rings, top jewelry, wedding ideas, or gifts for her. These people are browsing, not buying yet, and they could drain your budgets quickly. You also want to exclude searches for the wrong category entirely. If you sell solid wood dining tables, but Google matches you to office desks or coffee tables, that's Google being too broad, and you should remove those terms right away. The same goes for searches with the wrong specifications. If someone searches for a silver ring when your product is gold, or an XL hoodie when you only sell up to large, those clicks will never convert. Cleaning up those search terms stops irrelevant clicks at the source and instantly improves the quality of the traffic you are paying for. This step stretches your budgets because when you remove those irrelevant or loosely related search terms, Google stops showing your products to the wrong audience. Your clicks get cleaner, your cost per click goes down, your conversion rates improves, and your cost per sale drops. It's one of the fastest ways to improve your Google Shopping campaign without spending more. After tightening your search terms, the next step to check is your landing page, because even the best traffic won't convert if the store page itself breaks trust. The most important part is speed. Shopping traffic is impatient, and if the page loads slowly, people click back instantly and you are still paying for that click. Right after that comes your product photos. They need to be clean, bright, and professional with a variety of angles and close-ups, so shoppers get a full understanding of what they are buying. The images should match the quality of your shopping ads, so the experience feels consistent. Next, focus on the top section of your product page. This is where you need to communicate not only the basic details, what the product is, what it's made of, the size or dimensions, but also your strongest selling points. Things like durability, premium materials, unique features, craftsmanship, or any outcomes the customer cares about should appear right at the top. Customers should be able to decide within a matter of seconds whether your product is for them. So your most persuasive points must be visible without scrolling. Keep your shipping and returns information easy to find because people want to know how long delivery takes and how simple the return process is. And finally, show trust early. Reviews, ratings, customer photos, badges, anything that reassure customers they are buying from a reliable, trustworthy store. When your page loads fast, display strong and varied photos, and highlights your key selling points at the top, more of your clicks turn into sales, and your budget stretches further without increasing your spend. Once your landing page is in good shape, the next area to improve is your product feed. This is what Google uses to understand your products and decide when to show them. So, improving the feed helps you reach the right shoppers and avoid paying for the wrong clicks. At this stage, you're not rebuilding your entire product catalog. You're just focusing on the specific products you flagged earlier as weak performers. Improving their images, titles, attributes, highlights, and descriptions gives Google clearer signals about what the product is, which means your ads show up for more relevant searches and attract higher intent traffic. Better relevance leads to better clicks, better conversion rates, and more efficient spending across the whole campaign. When improving your feed, start with the products you flagged earlier. Update their images so they look clean, clear, and consistent because Google uses these visuals to judge how relevant your product is to each search query. Improve the product titles by adding the key details shoppers are actually looking for. It could be the product type, size, color, materials, or any feature that helps people understand what they're clicking on. Then you fill in any missing attributes. You can quickly review Google's product attribute list and identify which fields matter for your type of product. For example, clothing usually needs size, color, fit, material, or pattern, while electronics rely on details like storage, screen size, resolution, or model number. Once you know the relevant attributes, make sure your feed includes all this necessary information. Clear highlights and complete descriptions also help Google understand your product better. These improvements help your products show up in the right searches, attract higher intent clicks, and convert more efficiently. When Google has all the right signals, your shopping campaign becomes sharper and your budget stretches much further without increasing your spend. Once you've made these improvements across your feed, your product pages, and your search terms, your entire shopping setup becomes much cleaner and more focused. You will notice that your budget starts working harder for you because you're no longer paying for the wrong clicks and the right shoppers get a much clearer view of what you offer. To wrap everything up, here is the big picture. You don't stretch your Google Shopping ad budget by spending more. You stretch it by removing waste and tightening parts of the campaign that quietly drain money. You start at the top by reviewing your locations and cutting the areas that bring clicks but never bring sales. Then you move to your products because that's where every click and every conversion actually happens. You identify the products that spend without producing results. Pause the weak ones and focus on the items that convert consistently. If you have multiple ad groups, you check how your budget is being distributed and make sure the strong products and strong categories get more attention. After that, you review your search terms so Google stops showing your products for irrelevant or loosely related searches. From there, you check your landing pages to make sure they load fast, look trustworthy, and showcase your strongest selling points right at the top. And finally, you tighten your product feed with better images, better titles, clearer attributes, stronger highlights, and complete descriptions so Google understands your products properly and matches them to the right shoppers. When you put all these steps together, your campaign becomes cleaner, more relevant, and more efficient. You avoid paying for the wrong traffic, you attract higher intent shoppers, and you convert more of the clicks you're already getting. And this is how you stretch your Google Shopping ad budgets further without increasing your spend by improving the quality of everything inside your campaign so every dollar or pound you put in works harder for you. If your cost per conversion has gone up recently and you're not sure why, I've got another video that can help. It's called Did Your Competitors Raise Their Ad Budget? In that video, I break down how to tell if your drop in conversions is caused by competitors pushing harder in the ad auctions and what steps you should take if that's the case. Link in the top right-hand corner of the screen. If you're thinking about running more campaigns and you're not fully sure how each one works, have a look at my other video, the 7 Google campaign types. In that video, I break down what each campaign does and how they can help your business generate more conversions. If you need help to consistently scale your Google Ads campaigns so you can focus on running the business, get in touch at clarislin.com. That's why you also find my free Google Ads Pulse Check, a 9-point checklist that helps you spot what's working, what's not, and where's your next growth opportunity lies. If you have any other questions about how to get more sales from the same Google Ad budget, drop them in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful and you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future videos on how to double your Shopify revenue with profitable Google Ads. I'm Clarice Lin, the ROI Doctor. Thank you for watching. Till the next video, stay profitable.